Hi there, ho there. Happy day, everybody. Let's have fun and be totally lazy. Hi, it's Wednesday James here from Wednesday James HQ. I am trying to come back here to do Song of the Week V2.0. I was feeling that the old Songs of the Week, while enjoyable, we're not really accomplishing any kind of a goal, so I thought I would try and revamp the process and try something a little bit different. Hopefully you like it. Let me know in the comments. And here we go. We'll do a little bit of housekeeping real quick. Of course, if you are here on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. If you have done that and you want more, please head to my Patreon, patreon.com/JamesHearneMusic. You'll get live footage. You'll get some original songs. You'll get whatever else I can think to put up there. Should be a lot of fun there. Probably some outtakes from this kind of thing. And then you can head to my Bandcamp, jameshearne.bandcamp.com, pick up my most recent release of original music, The Artisan Sessions Volume 1, which is a re-recording of a bunch of songs from throughout my career, done 13 songs for $5. Who loses? Anyway, let's talk about the Song of the Week. We're going to try and do a little more discussion of the song itself and the writers and everything about it. That's what I want to do for this thing. So today, we're going to talk about one of my all-time favorite songs, possibly my all-time favorite song, realistically. We're going to talk about To Live Is to Fly by Townes Van Zandt. Townes Van Zandt, one of our finest songwriters and messiest people. Born in Fort Worth in March of 1944 to a very wealthy family, and the great-grandson of one of the founders of Fort Worth. He was a great-grandson of one of the higher generals in the Confederacy, but let's not hold that against him. That was 100 years earlier. Wealthy family. I have been told that the Hotel Van Zandt in Austin is the same Van Zandt family. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that's what I've heard. Tried to look that up, couldn't find it out. Older sister, younger brother, middle child, in 1956 was given a guitar for Christmas, having seen Elvis Presley on Ed Sullivan. And, everyone got activated by the Beatles on Ed Sullivan. Well, Townes got activated by Elvis on Ed Sullivan. His family lived in Texas, in Montana, in Colorado. As he was growing up, Colorado became for him a lifelong retreat. Anytime he felt like things were getting too big, too weird, too whatever, he would head over to Colorado for a while to try to chill out. Including went to college at University of Colorado in Boulder for a couple of years, but in his second year, his family brought him home for depression and his drinking. He was diagnosed as bipolar, although manic depression they called it then, but bipolar, and underwent insulin shock therapy, which is a pretty dodgy kind of thing they were trying for a long time, where they would treat the patient with large doses of insulin to induce daily comas. I'm not sure how they thought that was going to help depression. Well, what it did do was erase Townes Van Zandt's long-term memory, so that's cool. He never finished college and spent really the rest of his life struggling with alcoholism and drugs, as lots of creative people who do not have the support to deal with their mental health issues do. In the mid-'60s, he began playing clubs in Houston, sharing bills with the likes of Lightnin' Hopkins, Guy Clark, Jerry Jeff Walker, Doc Watson. His father passed away in early 1966, but shortly beforehand had recommended to him that he start writing his own songs. Novel idea. Started writing his own songs in the mid-'60s. Lived for a little while with Rory Erickson from the 13th Floor Elevators, and almost got a Rocky Erickson. I can't read my own typing. Was almost joined the 13th Floor Elevators as a bass player, only had never played bass and hence got thrown out of the audition. So shortly after then, he met Mickey Newberry, who encouraged him to go to Nashville for a long time, spent a long time in Nashville writing songs and making records. 6 pretty fantastically put together records between 1968 and 1973. For the Sake of the Song, Our Mother the Mountain, Townes Van Zandt, self-titled, Delta Mama Blues, High, Low, and In Between, and The Late Great Townes Van Zandt. In that run of records, he wrote, among many, many, many other delightful songs, he wrote the famous Poncho and Lefty, known widely for an incredible version by Willie Nelson and Merle Haggard in the early 80s. I'll Be Here in the Morning, Waiting Round to Die, If I Needed You, Mr. Mud and Mr. Gold. All kinds of great songs, most of which have been recorded by lots of different artists. Lungs is another good one. And of course, To Live Is to Fly, which is what we'll be talking about here today. That being said, before we get too far with that, Towns, his most effective work was in that run of years. He released a couple more albums over the course of his next 30 or so years, but 20, I guess. I can't do math. Died in January 1st, 1997, had fallen a couple weeks earlier and broken his hip, refused a lot of medical attention for quite a while, and then was unable to detox from alcohol. He was a messy man, very, very bad alcoholic, used heroin for most of his adult life. In the early 80s, he attempted to sell the publishing rights to his early records to his engineer/producer for $20 to buy heroin. Somehow, the producer didn't take that bet and just loaned him the money. But was a notable figure. I've certainly run across any number of bartenders, older bartenders in the Austin area who can have tales of Towns rolling in drunk and causing trouble, as he was known to do. So he died in 1997, leaving behind all of the work. So To Live Is to Fly came out on the record High, Low, and In Between, which was released in 1971. Produced by Kevin Eggers, who became Towns' manager and producer for many, many years. He was the $20 loan person. In his career, he recorded Albert King, Leadbelly, Philip Glass, John Cage. He worked with the Beatles and the Stones on their first American tours. He produced some TV documentaries and off-Broadway play, ran several record labels, including Poppy Records, which is the record label that High, Low, and In Between was released on. He died in 2020 of COVID, sadly. High, Low, and In Between was recorded at Larrabee Studios in Los Angeles. At that time, it was on West Hollywood on Larrabee Street. The studio was originally owned by Jerry Goffin and Carole King, which is kind of nifty. Still a studio now, although in 1991 it moved to a new location in Toluca Lake that had formerly been owned by Giorgio Moroder. The first thing done there under the Larrabee Studios name was actually Michael Jackson's Dangerous. But that studio has a laundry list of artists who've worked there. I'm not going to list them because it's too long, but lots and lots of studios, both in the earlier West Hollywood version and also in the Toluca Lake location. This record featured Donnie Owens and David Cohen on guitar. Don Randy played the keys and did the arrangements. Harvey Newmark on bass. John Summer on drums. Ann Whitsett is listed as hand claps. Larry Carlton, the legendary session guitar player who played with, among many, 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 many others, Steely Dan, Joni Mitchell, Linda Ronstadt, and Michael Jackson, played pedal steel on You Are Not Needed Now, a song that I had not actually heard until just a couple days ago, and which is delightful and that I will be learning soon. There were some lady vocalists that are not named as far as I can find out. I'm sure that someone knows who they are, but I am not that person because hacking a fraud like you do. So this was his fifth record. And where there had been sort of varieties, a couple had been sort of very country-politan with lots of strings and things. A couple had been very stripped down and folky. This one's kind of a little more country rock-ish, for better or for worse. There's some kind of gospel tunes. There's some folky tunes. All original songs by Townes Van Zandt, who was at least a fantastic writer at that point, albeit still a terrible drunk. Also one of the great finger pickers in history. That's Pearl back there, just came in. To Live Is to Fly is a song that Townes once said, "It's impossible to have a favorite song, but if I were forced at knife point to choose one, it would be To Live Is to Fly." It is a song that is 4 verses long, and every single verse has at least one line that just absolutely slays me, the kind of thing that I don't understand how you write, and that I desperately wish I knew how to write. What a wonderful piece of writing that it is, notably covered by, among others, Guy Clark, who did a lovely version with Emmylou Harris, the Cowboy Junkies, whose version does a lot of interesting time changes, Peter Rowan and Tony Rice Quartet did a version, which every version of this has their own kind of takes on things. The Guy Clark left out the first verse entirely. The Peter Rowan Tony Rice Quartet sort of mix and matches verses, which is sort of a weird way to go. Steve Earle did a version as well. There's lots of versions out there. It's a wonderful, wonderful song. Steve Earle notoriously, in an interview in the 80s, said Townes Van Zandt is the greatest songwriter walking the earth right now, and I will stand on Bob Dylan's coffee table in my cowboy boots and say that. Townes was reached for comment and responded, "I've seen Bob Dylan's security detail, and if Steve Earle thinks he can stand on Bob Dylan's coffee table, he is sorely mistaken." So this song, every single verse has lines that just slay me. Days up and down they come like rain on a conga drum. Forget most, remember some, but don't turn none away. Everything is not enough. Nothing is too much to bear. Where you been is good and gone. All you keep is the getting there. I'll sing it for you in just a moment. It's an incredible piece of songwriting. I just adore singing it. I play it as often as I can arrange. It's a little slow for most bar gigs, so I don't tend to do it too often, but I'll play it when I can. And in my maybe first year here in Texas, I was playing it at a bar, and I just completely blanked on the fourth verse. Couldn't pull it up. Spent about a minute like fingering a D chord going, and I finally got it, and I sang the final verse. And as I let the guitar ring out at the end, I turned, "Townes, I'm sorry, I fucked it up. I forgot it." And the oldest man I've ever seen in my entire life, who had been at the back of the bar, kind of shuffled to the front and said, "Don't worry about it, Sonny. I saw Townes 100 times. He never knew the words either." Which actually did make me feel better at the time. Anyway, it is just a magical piece of songwriting that I absolutely adore, and I'm looking forward to singing it for you now. So I hope you enjoy it. To Live is to Fly for Song of the Week. I'm James. We'll see you next week. I won't say I love you, babe. I won't say I need you, babe. But I'm gonna get you, and I will not do you wrong. Living's mostly wasting time, and I waste my share of mine. But it never feels too good, so let's not take too long. You're as soft as glass, and I'm a gentleman. We've got the sky to talk about, and all the earth to lie upon. Up and down they come like rain on a conga drum. Forget most, remember some, but don't turn none away. Everything is not enough, and nothing is too much to bear. Where you've been is good and gone. All you keep is the getting there. And to live is to fly low and high. So shake the dust off of your wings and the sleep out of your eyes. It's goodbye to all my friends. It's time to go again. Think of all the poetry and the picking down the line. And I'll miss the system here. The bottom's low and the treble's clear, but it don't pay to think too long on the things you leave behind. Well, I may be gone, but I won't be long. I'll be bringing back the melodies and all the rhythms that I find. We've all got holes to fill, and them holes are all that's real. Some fall on you like a storm, sometimes you dig your own. And the choice is yours to make, and the time is yours to take. Some dive into the sea, some toil upon the stone. And to live is to fly low and high. So shake the dust off of your wings and the sleep out of your eyes. Shake the dust off of your wings and the sleep out of your eyes. Shake the dust off of your wings and the tears out of your eyes.